on to the candidate. You accept on your biscuits.
Save $1.20 on Oscar Mayer turkey bacon, only $3.99 for a 12-ounce package. Red ripe strawberries, $4.99 for a 1-pound package. Save $1.01 on Breyer's ice cream, just $7.19 for a 48-ounce tub. Hot price on Kraft shredded cheese, $3.89 for an 8-ounce package. Save 66 cents on Kool-Aid drink mix, only $4.99 for a 20-ounce tub. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Thursday, the 7th of June. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Voting will end shortly in two key by-elections being held today in Constituency 22 Paget East. Scott Pierman is looking to succeed Dr. Grant Gibbons in what is regarded as an OBA stronghold. He faces the challenge of the PLP's Curtis Richardson. We'll hear more from that district in just a few minutes. In Warwick Northeast, meanwhile, Curtis Dickinson is hoping to gain the seat for the PLP. It was held by the OBA's Jeff Barron before he resigned. Justin Mathias is aiming to retain the seat for the party. And we're joined live now by Gary Moreno from the Bright Temple AME Church in Warwick. Gary?
Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening. Diane, we're here, of course, live at the Bright Temple AME, which is the polling station for constituency number 24, which is Warwick Northeast. This, of course, is a by-election that was made necessary by the resignation of the One Bermuda Alliance's, well, the former member now of the One Bermuda Alliance, Jeff Barron, who won this seat in the 2017 general election back in July of 2017. Back then, there was some 1,256 registered voters in this constituency. Just over 921 or thereabouts did their civic duty and came out and cast their ballots. Of course, as I mentioned, Mr. Jeff Barron became the successful candidate or garnered more votes than the PLP's Kathleen Simmons, the current Attorney General. Well, since we've been here for about the last half an hour or so, I can tell you that the voter turnout has been steady. There's been a steady stream of voters, but that is to be expected between 4 and 8 p.m., which is when the polls actually close. Of course, traditionally, we don't have a large turnout in by-elections. It's left to see what will happen here today. Well, the candidates in this by-election, Mr. Justin Mathias and Mr. Curtis Dickinson, have been pressing the flesh since we've been here this afternoon. And I don't know if you can follow me, Kyle. Just going to try to get a quick word in. First of all, with Mr. Mathias. Thank you for being here with us this evening.
Thank you.
What have you been seeing in terms of the voter turnout? What do you feel in terms of what you've seen so far?
There's been a really good turnout for a by-election. The numbers have been pretty high, so it's encouraging.
There are some who are suggesting that perhaps you were not on the doorstep, sufficiently on the doorstep, and it could prove to be a disadvantage. How do you respond to that?
I've been going full court press since I was announced as candidate, and I've been in as many hoons as physically possible, so that's not one of my concerns.
How many voters would you, I'm sure that you've been keeping numbers, would you say have turned out so far?
I think we're out about 600. Yeah, so it's a good number for a by-election.
And is it the same 1,250 odd that are registered voters in this constituency?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
In the last general election, we had a turnout of 900 plus. You think we'll even come close to that figure this time around?
I think we might come a little bit under it because by-elections tend to be around 60-70%. But I think we're going to get close to 60% turnout.
Thank you very much, sir. All the best. And I don't know if we can get across here to Mr. Dickinson, who is, of course, the candidate for the Progressive Labour Party. Gentlemen, excuse me, I know you might be talking about banking matters, but Mr. Dickinson, I need to grab you for a quick second. We're live. I know that you have to be pressing the flesh, but we can stay right here. What have you seen, or based on what you've seen so far, what can you tell us about the turnout? If you want to come over this way.
I think it's been steady. Picked up this morning, early in the morning, trailed off around lunchtime. Seems to be a number of folks who are coming to the polls in the last hour. So I'm expecting that we'll probably see more folks now than we did probably in the earlier hours of the day.
There has been a lot of talk about this constituency and that a lot of the issues that affect this constituency are more national than parochial. Would you agree with that?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that there are a combination of issues, both community-based and then there are the national ones. And what I've been finding over the course of the last 5 weeks is no matter where you talk to folks, whether it's this side here at Spring Hill or over in Cedar Hill, there's a similarity to people's concerns. There's a similar nature to the concerns.
So, in terms of, let's say you are successful in this constituency, in this by-election, what do you see yourself bringing into the House of Assembly?
Well, Gary, my background is different than most people in the House of Assembly. I've spent the last 25 years in the financial services industry, kind of working as a professional. I think I bring to bear kind of a couple of master's degrees and some experience in the financial markets. I also am not a experienced politician, so fresh blood, new ideas, new approaches to things, and hopefully a new way to kind of challenge old ideas.
Great, thanks a lot. We'll get back to meeting the people.
Thank you.
So that is it, as you're hearing from both candidates, of course, expressing confidence, no doubt, in the outcome of this by-election. There are two newcomers, so to speak, two political newbies, both gentlemen. Of course, this is their first general election. Mr. Matthias would have had some previous experience, having been a member of the Senate, a seat which he would have had to have vacated in order for him to be a candidate to contest this seat here, constituency number 24, Warwick North East. So again, the polls close in just about 55 minutes or so. We expect that things will in fact begin to perhaps pick up and then begin to subside closer to that time. I can tell you that there is a line actually inside the polling place, inside the polling station. So it's all just left to be seen now what happens come 8 o'clock and the counts thereafter. Diane?
Thanks, Gary, and we'll be bringing you the news from the other by-election in Paget East later on in the show. We'll also have all the latest weather news in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
You can count on us.
For a juicy treat, tropical mangoes, $1.69 each. USDA bone-in strip steak, just $16.99 per pound, saving you $2. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, only $5.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. Save 90 cents on Minute Maid punch juices, $3.99 for a 59-ounce carton. Kingsford Match Light Charcoal, only $9.99 for a 3.1-pound bag. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
You can count on us.
I attended the Mirror Super Camp. It was an awesome experience. I got to meet a lot of new people.
And then we also learned about the 8 keys of excellence. Keys over doors, keys over doors.
Super Camp is not like other camps. There's a strong focus here about looking at the options and the choices you have available to you and choosing the one that best reflects who you are.
I learned a lot about the way that I have to keep pushing and persevere no matter what's going on.
The best thing about Super Camp? It allows you the space to truly be yourself.
Anytime somebody finally came into their own presence and felt comfortable being who they were, that was a special moment for me at Super Camp.
Super Camp is about exploring who you are and transforming yourself.
It only gets better!
We invite you to join the transformation of a generation.
Welcome back. Well, the Board of Preserved Marriage and Family have welcomed the government's announcement that it will appeal against a Supreme Court decision which ruled in favor of same-sex marriages. That isn't final yet, with the government saying it is seeking legal advice before making a final decision. In a statement, Preserved Marriage said it was astonished by yesterday's court decision, calling it contradictory to Bermuda's democratic process and European law. The group has been one of the key opponents of gay marriage, saying marriages are unions ordained by God between a man and a woman. In contrast, the gay couple that won the initial legal battle to marry last year have expressed their joy at the Supreme Court's decision.
Yeah, once again, it feels great. Honestly, it's I think a great moment for the LGBT community of Bermuda. I think it's something definitely worth celebrating, especially given the month of Pride. I think it's just one of those things that you can't help but want to celebrate and obviously feel good about. Obviously, we do have to stay, but I think that's something that we have to wait for. I think that it's important for them to realize that they are loved, that they are supported, that they are celebrated, that they are accepted. I think it's way too easy to kind of forget those things and how important that is, because a lot of the time when you have a government telling you that you're less than or that your love is somehow different, it stings.
I think it's also just something that we're really kind of grateful and thankful for. Obviously, we do kind of have to wait a little longer just to kind of see how things play out in the long run, but I still think it's a step in the right direction for sure.
In other news, police have confirmed that a 38-year-old man from the United States has died in an incident at Horseshoe Bay. It's thought he may have run into difficulties while swimming. Police and medical assistants were called to the popular beach at 2:26 p.m. this afternoon, with the victim taken to the hospital by ambulance. The man was sadly certified dead by a doctor at around 3 p.m. Police say they are notifying the next of kin. In other news, a move to stamp out the abuse of retroactive planning approval for construction and related activities could not have been better time for Lawrence Scott MP for Warwick Southeast, Constituency 24. Mr. Scott contends the move will both help resolve a troubling situation in his area and carry significant overall benefits. Here's Gary Moreno with more.
The tabling of legislation aimed at curbing the abuse of retroactive planning approval is more than welcome news for Mr. Scott, who contends it could prove useful in putting an end to what he describes as a quarrying operation set up in his constituency by developer Gilbert Lopes.
Back in March, I was made aware by my constituents here that possible quarrying was going on. It was then reported to, it was actually in the Royal Gazette through a letter to the editor. Then it was reported to planning. Planning then issued a stop work order for the quarrying that was going on. From that stop work order, Mr. Lopes then submitted a retroactive planning application, which is being processed right now and going through the process and procedures.
Whether Mr. Lopes has planning approval or not, Mr. Scott says his constituents are not prepared under any circumstances to accept the situation.
Quarrying? No, that is a no-go. You have the potential hotel property, Grand Atlantic, that would impact that. You have the houses, and you can see how close houses are right now. During the building of Grand Atlantic, sand was going onto people's roofs. They've had to have their tanks drained. They've had the swimming pools for the guest houses across the road had to have their pools drained and their pumps clogged with sand. So this is a no-go item.
The Warwick East MP says the legislation titled the Development and Planning Amendment Bill 2018 could put an end to nefarious practices which he alleges take place within the construction sector.
Ever since I spoke about it in the House of Assembly, many people have come to me talking about how their contractor has actually purposely started a building operation, then applied retroactive planning to retroactive planning permission, been fined, and passed that fine on to the client. This is what this bill is trying to stop. This is what this bill is trying to avoid. And then there are times when the contractor hides it in the billing cycle or in the bill for clients.
Mr. Scott tells us he has not spoken with Mr. Lopes about the goings-on in Warwick Southeast, since the contractor, as he puts it, is not the only one allegedly abusing retroactive planning approval. He hopes that highlighting the situation in his constituency will begin to create a change, and calls on the media to ensure issues of this nature are brought to the attention of the wider community.
There's no way that I can reach all my constituents and let them know what's going on, what this government is doing for them, what the ministers are doing for them, what the cabinet is doing for them, if it's not reported in the media, if it's not reported on Royal Gazette, if it's not reported on Burn News, if it's not reported on ZBM.
Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Lopes says he moved the material to the location with the intention of beginning sand processing after receiving planning approval. The project, which is expected to last about 8 months, he suggests would not in any way change the area. He says that having done the same thing during construction of the nearby Grand Atlantic project, only one resident complained and their concerns were quickly addressed. Mr. Lopes says he already has permission to process sand at 2 other locations and was only seeking to have it extended to the Warwick site. Weather now, here's AccuWeather with the latest forecast.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and you know, it's been one of those weeks where we just haven't had a lot of sunshine. We've had a few peaks of sun, but we've also had lots of clouds around and also spotty showers as well. Looking at our water vapor here, you can see that we still have this zone of moisture kind of right over us. Drier air to the north, and you know what? We are going to have some drier air arriving to the island, at least for the start of the weekend. So things are looking pretty good. Still a couple of showers we'll have to dodge, but nothing significant is expected. You can see still a little bit unsettled here, a little close to home. So as we get into the forecast for tonight, temperature-wise, it will be staying mild, but we're still going to have lots of those clouds and spotty showers around as well. Hey, temperatures, they've been on the mild side here thanks to the winds coming in out of the southwest. Winds right now between 10 and 15 knots. The humidity, it's still up there between 70 and 75%. Outside the reef, we're looking at waves 2 to 3 feet. That continues to decrease, and if you're looking to get out on a boat, maybe do some fishing, maybe you're here for vacation, Saturday's looking like a very pleasant day as high pressure is going to start to nudge its way back into the island, that Bermuda high. So things are looking good once we get into Saturday. But for tonight, as I mentioned, we'll have those clouds around, also a couple of spotty showers. Temperatures stay mild, a little bit muggy outside, right around 75 degrees. Your tidal times, now, we don't have any marine alerts out there as the waves continue to get less choppy and improving conditions. So if you plan on heading out tomorrow, you can see we have high tide at 4:27 a.m. on Friday, and then our other tidal times listed right there for you on the right-hand side of your screen. Now for tomorrow here in Hamilton, we'll have a few peaks of sunshine, but also more clouds than sun at times. Temperatures will be right around 82 degrees, a shower in spots. You know, this icon looks worse than what it's actually going to be. We'll still have a pretty decent day on Friday here in Hamilton. If you're doing any traveling, here's a look at your travel forecast. New York, 76, partly sunny skies there. The southeast, it's pretty toasty right now. Atlanta, a high of 90 degrees for Friday, 89 in Miami, Florida. Some showers and thunderstorms in Miami and also in London, England. We have no tropical development, so we are in good shape right now. We'll be keeping an eye on a tropical wave, though, as we head into next week. That could have an impact down toward the Leeward Islands. Not here for us, so we are in good shape with our weather. And hopefully you have a great weekend. If you're heading out to the Bermuda powwow Saturday or Sunday, mainly dry weather here. We might see a spotty shower on Sunday, but it looks like a better chance for moisture comes early next week with our next frontal boundary that'll be arriving on Tuesday.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
ZBM Realty & Associates services all your real estate needs. Our agents have years of real estate experience specializing in selling of properties, renting of properties, property management, vacation rental. So whether you're looking to move to another location, selling your home, purchasing a new home, or a landlord looking for assistance in managing your property, give us a call today. One of our experienced agents will be more than willing to assist you with all your housing needs. Call us on 234-2050 or visit our website, jbmrealtyandassociates.com.
I've been diabetic for 13, 14 years.
People develop type 2 diabetes over a number of years.
People can lose their sight. There are other people who have lost their limbs through amputations. There are many people who are on dialysis, and you're at increased risk for things like strokes and heart disease.
I had fears that I would have a heart attack, or I would have a stroke, or I would lose limbs, or lose my eyesight. The program Diabetes Reversal has made me really realize that it's a lifestyle change.
The program is designed so that the patient can learn to take control of the disease instead of this disease taking control of you.
I feel so good. I feel like I've been given a second chance.
It's not a crash course, it's not a diet course, it doesn't involve supplements or pills or anything like that.
Just take that leap of faith and know that there is a way without medication.
I invite you to take the first step on the journey of the Diabetes Reversal Program here at the Premier Health and Wellness Center.
This is Rick Blomquist of De Pere, Wisconsin. His life is pretty comfortable. He lives in a comfy home, wears comfortable shoes. He even has a comfortable job. Rick Blomquist thought he had comfort all figured out. But then he laid on a Serta and realized his life was only just sorta comfortable. The new Serta iComfort Hybrid Mattress. Not just sorta comfortable, Serta comfortable.
Feel the difference a good night's sleep can make. Exclusively available at Dreams, Bermuda's only mattress gallery.
I'm Michaela and this is Taking Off. At Skyport, we are passionate about giving back to the community, and this year, we're focused on the development of our most precious resource, our youth. Last year, we were so excited to provide a library of books to East End Primary School. Our newest donations are to the Bermuda Sloop Foundation and Crossroads Warriors FC Youth Program. Both charities do awesome work with our young people, and we want to help ensure that work continues. $10,000 investment in the Sloop Foundation is for its youth Skiller voyages, which take place every summer. Students board the tall ship for 5 days and learn about navigation, seamanship, fishing, and much more. Skyport's donation ensures that a group of public school students get to participate. Crossroad Warriors receive $5,000 for its youth program. The investment will assist with maintaining the club's field for training, pay for registration and tournament fees, purchase new benches, and more. When they're not on the pitch, the Warriors are out in the community cleaning up with KBB, participating in Relay for Life, reading to seniors, and much more. Stay tuned for more Skyport community investments. See you next time.
Returning to our top story, the two by-elections being held today. We've already heard from Warwick Northeast. The other by-election taking place today is Paget East. It's been an OBA stronghold. Scott Pierman is looking to retain the seat for the party, while the PLP's Curtis Richardson is hoping to cause an upset. Jasmine Patterson reports.
Light showers and scorching temperatures did little to discourage constituents to come out and vote. The candidates keen to be seen greeting their constituents in the hopes they'll earn that all-important X beside their names. The PLP's Curtis Richardson said he believes voter turnout was encouraging and may even break records for a by-election despite the off-putting weather. He's vying for the seat in Paget East for a second time, losing last time to veteran minister Dr. Grant Gibbons by 307 votes. We asked what would be different this time round.
The difference is that we've had more time and we have more teams to get out to canvass on the doorsteps of everyone that we could get to. We haven't been segmented in any way as part of the strategy to just, go in and say hi to everyone.
Constituents' main concerns, he says, are education and the economy.
Education feeds into the economy ultimately once you get to the point of graduating and come back and, or stay here and start working, and you feed into the economy. People have been more encouraged with what's to come because the government has laid out in their platform and has started to implement the new education that we're looking forward to in the public schools.
Meanwhile, in the adjacent tent, the OBA's Scott Pierman is running for the first time, and he believes his chances of replacing Dr. Grant Gibbons in the so-called OBA stronghold are good.
And I don't take this seat for granted at all. I'm not even sure it is a stronghold accurately anymore. I think Curtis Richardson, the candidate for the PLP, got a lot of votes. He got almost 400 votes here in the general election. So, yes, this is a seat that the OBA traditionally has won, or the UBP won way back in that day. But, I'm confident. I've been seeing as many voters as I can, and it's certainly been a good reception on the doorsteps.
A concern for his constituents has been
the number one issue has actually been garbage collection. But that's important in people's lives. I think that most of the people I've spoken to would prefer to see twice-a-week collections in the summer from May to September. They appreciate that the government's trying to save money by once-a-week collection, but it is the summer months. It's our tourism season, and having bags of garbage out on the streets, which cats rip open and rats run into, is not a good idea. Nationally, I think the biggest issue I've heard time and again is education, and it's a fundamental. We've got to get that right.
Most notable at the polling station today was the age of many voters. One senior stressed the importance of getting out to vote even when it's a by-election.
Of course it's important. It's very important. It always will be.
Now, did you vote on certain issues?
Not really. There's two things that I think that need attention very, very much, and that is the traffic on the roads. We've got to put more policemen on the roads, more radar traps, and things like that, and that's the only way you're going to slow it down, and I know because I used to be a policeman.
Meanwhile, one voter explained to us his criteria for his chosen candidate.
I just feel it's important I want someone who's good for young people. I'm young, 24, and just want young people to work, really, that's it. So that was my cause right there, so yeah.
So jobs is a big concern for you?
Yes.
Last time, according to the elections website, 1,101 people out of 1,477 voted in the constituency. It remains to be seen if as many turn out before the polls close tonight at 8 o'clock. Jasmine Patterson reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Thanks, Jasmine. In other news, what does the Bermuda Constitution mean to you? That and other questions will be discussed at a conference on Friday at the BUEI. The Center for Justice is marking 50 years since the Constitution came into force. Dr. Nicola Barker, a law professor from the UK, will be speaking at Friday's event. But first, she sat down with Tarai Trott.
Well, it's the 50th anniversary, obviously, of the Bermuda Constitution Order of 1968. And so Centre for Justice wanted to mark the anniversary and think about what place the Constitution has, or what role the Constitution has in contemporary Bermudian life. So we wanted to talk about the historical context of the Constitution, whether it's still fit for purpose in today's society, whether it ought to perhaps, whether it's something that Bermudians may want to consider revising, revisiting and modernising to better address the issues that Bermuda faces today, and to look at some examples of constitutional provisions from overseas that may provide inspiration for reforms that could be useful here, depending on, if Bermudians want to go in that direction. It begins at 9 a.m. And it runs through until 4:30.
Now, is any member of the public invited? Do they have to pay a fee?
There's no fee. Any member of the public can come, and we really encourage them to come. There are a lot of speakers. There are a lot of lawyers who are speaking, but it will be perfectly accessible. We're not going to. It's not going to be about legal technicalities. It's about the idea is that it will be accessible to the public, interesting to the public, we hope.
Hey Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court. You know what? That sounds good. They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carvings.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It don't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Now, Earl Basin has tonight's sports report.
Bermuda's under-17 women's national team went down 10-1 to USA last evening in Florida during the CONCACAF under-17 World Cup qualifiers.
U.S. had 8 different goal scorers on the day, with Maya Doms and Sunshine Fontaz each scoring twice in a win that sends the U.S. to the knockout round of the tournament, while Bermuda has been eliminated. The U.S. struck early when Maya Fischel, who has Bermuda links with her father, the brother of Andrew, Herbie, and David Bascom, receiving a long ball over the top and calmly stroking the ball home with a right foot shot to give the U.S. a 1-0 lead in the 5th minute. Bermuda fought back when Leilani Nisbet scored Bermuda's first goal of the tournament in the 17th minute with a free kick that swerved past the U.S. goalkeeper Julia Dahl to make it 1-1. The USA then went on a run, scoring 9 more times, but the Bermuda under-17 national coach Aaron Denkins said there are plenty of things to take from this match.
Conceding 10 goals, it's clear that there are areas that we need to. The players tonight gave it their best out there against probably the best women's football team at U17 level. The U.S. haven't lost a game in this competition in about 6 years. So it was always going to be an uphill battle for the girls. And for periods of the game, we were in it. We were toe-to-toe with them. So I think the girls walked off the field with their heads up high, knowing that they gave their best for their country. And I think Sakari Turner had an excellent game. She saved a lot of goals 1v1, made a lot of brilliant saves. Leilani's goal was a classic goal. And I think Jade Steele had a good game, marking one of their better players. So there were a lot of learning points and a lot of things that we picked up and a lot of things that we can improve on.
Kamal Levrock and his Nottinghamshire second teammates continued their second 11 championship 3-day match against Worcestershire seconds at the War Memorial Ground. Worcestershire resumed their inning at 33 for 7. They went on to score another 100 runs and were out for 133. They were sent back to bat, and at the close of play on day 2, they reached 268 for 6, a lead of 56 runs. Levrock finished the first innings with bowling figures of 8 overs, 2 maidens, none for 28, and he would conclude day 2 with the second inning bowling figures of of 9 overs, no maidens, none for 36. The Wednesday night sailing series continued inside the Hamilton Harbor with 22 boats going to the start line for race day 7. The start saw some dangerous scenes as several boats came within inches of each other as the direction of wind made the start that much more challenging. Crossfire was the first boat to cross the line in a time of 1:17.45, with their corrected time of 1:25.17 saw them finish 4th on the night. Air Force crossed the line 2nd on the night with a time of 1:26.44, with their corrected time of 1:21.19 saw them finish 1st. Mayhem was 2nd on the night with a corrected time of 1:21.57. This after crossing the line in a time of 1:27.25. Passion was 3rd on the night with a corrected time of 1:24.32, and Back in Black rounded up the top 5 finishers with a corrected time of 1:25.27.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Thank you, Earl. Well, that's our newscast on this Thursday evening. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Trying to set it back down.